AJ, the CEO here, and it seems like in the last couple of episodes I've been here in a hotel room, but we want to make sure we get our episode out here for y'all, faithful, committed listeners. Y'all caught the title, When to Let Go. Now, I'm going to do a lead up before I start talking about this, so just bear with me for a second. I am very mindful of the platform that I have, the influence that I have, and I am very mindful of the things that I say. Because I realize that some things are said that people don't know my whole history, and things can easily be taken out of context. So that's why I want to prep this. This talk, this podcast, what I'm talking about is I'm going to more tell you, talk about when to let go by just sharing my story of when I did that. So this is not me telling you when it's time for you to leave your church or whatever. You could take it to church, you could take it to whatever topic you want. But for me, I'm trying to keep my phone from sliding down. When to let go. So hopefully that gives a lead up. Please, I'll just tell the story. So how do I know when it's time for me to let go? I have been playing in music for a very, very long time. Maybe since playing for choirs, maybe since I was 11, something like that. And I knew for a long time I never got a title as a minister of music. I knew I was one. That was an assignment that I felt that God gave me. So I did that to the best of my abilities. And I remember going through some very, very tough times in my life to where I walked away from God because I was very angry that I'm just like, I've been doing my best to serve and follow your principles. And I just got very, very hurt. And I felt betrayed. And I left, and then I walked away from doing music. I walked away from my assignment. And in the 8 to 9 months in that period of time, it was I was nagged. I don't want to say nagged. Situations kept popping up to remind me your mission is not over. You shouldn't have, I mean, it's your choice to walk away, but I'm going to try and make the situation so uncomfortable for you that you need to come back. And after, much prayer, counseling, and everything like that, and understanding the situation, I re-engaged my commitment with God and came back. And I was like, I'm never going to step away from an assignment or my mission until I'm told to leave. No matter how people treat me, I'm going to stay committed to my stuff. So I started playing at a church, and the head of the music department just kept doing a whole lot of mess towards me. So I ended up leaving because I'm like, I'm not going to stay here to be through the situation. Now, this is the difference. I left because of people. I did not stop my assignment. My assignment playing at that church ended, but immediately an opportunity opened up for me to play somewhere else. So I was still doing my mission at the time. We go full circle. I'm hired at Antioch to play. And I'm playing there, and just some stuff is happening that I ended up getting in a position to where I went from being a musician there to being an interim over top of the music ministry. And then y'all know the story that starts this whole channel. It's around like, I come back, I'm there at Antioch, they're building a new sanctuary, and I'm looking around and I'm just like, man, this stuff is old. And didn't realize that the church was getting swindled by the stuff that was being installed. Long story short, I was asked to kind of help out with the technology there at the church. And then because of the changes, I joined the media ministry. Then I was voted to be the president of the media ministry, and then that lasted for 12 years. I was still doing music because I was not told to, my assignment for music was not over yet. So I'm balancing both of them. And then 2016, that's my story when I was woken up and was told to leave music and concentrate on media. That was to me, like from a military standpoint, that was where I had a new set of orders and I was told to change duty stations. So I stepped away from music because that was me officially being told to let go of that and now take on this. Um, so that's where that change was. So when do I know it's time for me to let go? For me, in prayer and understanding, I'm told by God to let go. And just being blunt, and you dealing with people, people are going to tick you off. And if you make decisions based off of how people treat you, because they don't treat you a certain way, you're not going to be able to stand up for anything. So for me, I changed locations because of how people were, because there are certain things I'm just not going to tolerate. I'm not going to be treated a certain way. So I've left from that, but I'm not going to let anybody else steer me away from my mission if God hasn't taken me off of that mission. So I'm doing the stuff there at Antioch, doing media, doing everything like that. And then there was maybe about 2.5 years ago. Well, actually, let me jump back to the calling. How did I know that it was time for me to step away from music and go to media? Not just because of the calling. I had to be real with myself. I really enjoyed playing. I really enjoyed help ushering in praise and worship and everything like that. But the confirmation I got when I got that message was while I was going through this process of trying to decide, and it took me 3 months to finally decide to actually step away from music and do media. I sat down and realized, had a talk with myself and people that I trusted, that I love playing, I love worshiping, I love doing teaching music, I love singing, I love doing all that stuff. But I sat down and looked at it. It's like max I'm helping and ministering to maybe like 75 to 115 people that were coming to church. I'm impacting them in the gifts that God gave me. But I had a longing for more. Not more as an attention, longing for I know I'm capable of more, but I'm not in a position to do it. And then as I thought about media and dealing more with that, I'm like, I could step away from playing and helping the 75 to 115 people here in this capacity, or I can change roles. And now I can be off of the forefront instead of me being in the front. And now I can help facilitate this ministry to reach tens to hundreds to thousands more than the 75 to 115 that I'm helping in impacting in praise and worship. So those were the thoughts going through my mind. And then when I talked to my friend Kyle, he was saying, AJ, I know you. You're the type of person that, and again, it's good to know the people that you talk with when you're deciding when it's time for you to let go. Because he was like saying, I'm not going to confirm or deny anything that God's told you. That's not my place. But I would recommend to you is to pray for the assurance of God that he's, you know, that you know, that you know, that you know, that that's the right move for you to make. And that's what I did. Again, I didn't confirm with another man. I didn't go to my pastor saying, Pastor, do you think this is right? This is me personally. I don't think, since the veil was ripped, I don't need to go through another person to communicate with God. God can communicate directly with me. I believe in confirmation with other people. Just like when Mary was told about giving birth to Jesus, Joseph was also given some type of confirmation. You know, it's like other parties will know what's going on. And when that happened, I knew that it was time for me to move to media. And then ultimately, That same approach and that same mindset was the one that happened for me to start this YouTube channel, to start my business, as well as it was time for when it was my season was over. My duty station was over here at Antioch, and then I was just wandering, and then that same unctioning came for me to be at Signs and Wonders. So again, from a military standpoint, I got orders. When do I know? For me, when it's time is when I'm told, well done, thy good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Now let me make you master of more. I know I'm paraphrasing it, but I was faithful in what I did and didn't let a person or situation stop what my assignment was. And then once God gave me some new orders to say, you've done well. Let me transition you to a new duty station or a new mission, a new calling. That's when I know. So am I saying it's easy? I'm dealing with the stuff now that it's like, as much as I love what I'm doing, you're dealing with people. It gets frustrating. But I have to remind myself I'm not doing it for people. I'm doing it for, this is my assignment right now that came from God. And I don't change. I don't move until I've got new orders for me to leave. So that's when I know it's time for me to let go. So let me know. Again, this isn't a typical talking point. This is more of me just telling you my mindset. It works for me. At no point in time am I telling you that this is how it's going to be for you. You need to understand that for yourself. But I wanted to be transparent and just tell you how it is with me, how I deal with stuff. And I'm still hearing when it's time for me to move and go left, right, and all this other stuff. So let me know down below if that helped, or if you want to share about, like, if that's something that you're going through or trying to get an understanding. Hey, this is a community where, just like I share, I want you to share, because somebody needs to hear what you say, because it's going to be an encouragement to them, just like I hope what I'm saying is encouragement to you if you're going through similar situations. So this is AJ, folks. We'll catch you on the next video. Later.